I'm excited, I'm excited.
Do you want me to?
I genuinely am excited. Welcome back, folks. I'm Eliud Kipchoge and this is Run4Adventure, and it is a really exciting day and a long coming day as well. I say I'm excited, but I'm also a little bit disappointed in myself because I've been drawn into the Nike Hype Beast machine, unfortunately. And yet, in this box that has just been delivered is a pair of the Nike Alphafly Next Percents. But we didn't want to open it, so I haven't opened the box, I haven't looked at the shoe. I wanted to get my reaction live for you guys at home. So we're going to open the box up. You know, it's going to be my first impressions on seeing the shoe, touching the shoe. It's been a very hyped shoe, that is for sure, and I've seen lots of stuff on YouTube and read lots of stuff in magazines, but really excited to finally get a pair on the channel. Just before we open the box up, we'll give you a bit of history about the shoe. So the Nike Alphafly Next Percent is the production version of a shoe that back in 2019, Eliud Kipchoge became the first human on the planet ever to run under 2 hours for the marathon distance. And I know it was in controlled conditions and lots of people kicked off about that, but still an amazing feat of human endurance to maintain that pace for the duration of a flat marathon in Vienna in Austria. The best way to sort of gauge the pace he was running, go and find the biggest, longest hill you can possibly find, stand at the top of it, and then run down that hill as fast as your legs will physically carry you. Try not to fall over, obviously, and you probably still won't be anywhere near the pace that Eliud Kipchoge maintained for the duration of that pan-flat marathon in Austria. So pretty bonkers, mind-blowing, and an amazing feat of human endurance, that's for sure. Believe it or not, I have never run in a pair of 4% or Next Percents from Nike. I've always tried to sort of stay away from the hype around them shoes. So this is going to be my first ever experience of the Nike Next Percent technology. So exciting times on the channel. I really can't believe that I've spent £259 on a pair of running shoes. I mean, it's just ridiculous, it's bonkers, but I am excited to get them on my feet and to get out and running in them, just to see if all the hype is true, you know. So that's enough about history and me waffling on about this shoe. Let's get this box open and let's take a proper look at the Nike Alphafly Next Percent. Right, okay, let's get this box open, guys. I can't wait any longer. I know it's sad that I'm so excited about a shoe, I realise this, but you know, I've got a running channel on YouTube, I'm a runner, I love brands that make innovations and I love new running tech, so it's perfect really. So let's get this box out of this box if we can. God, I will get them out. Let's tip it out. Wow. So we've got a nice black Nike box. Just checking they've sent me the right size. Yeah, a men's UK 9.5. So let's get the lid off of this box. So inside we have a nice little trainer bag. Comes with the shoe, which is pretty cool. Nice little touch. But then again, I did spend £259, so I'd expect a little bag for my shoes. And then let's take the wrapper off. Wow. Wowzers. Well, they smell good, that's for sure. You can't beat the smell of a new pair of trainers. And the first things that I take in is the fact that, and I've heard a lot of this from this Zoom X compound, when it turns up, it's all quite crinkled. It's not nice and clean and plush like new foam normally is on a shoe. So that's the first thing I noticed. The next thing is how see-through the upper is. how transparent that, and the weight of the shoe is ridiculous. You look at the shoe, you've got this huge cushioned midsole. You expect it to be quite a bit heavier than that. That is pretty amazing. And again, like I said, this Atom upper that I've heard a lot about, I mean, it's like a string vest, you know, there's nothing to it. It's super, super light. But yeah, have a feel of that. Feel it. That is crazy, isn't it? How light is that? So, I mean, you know, we won't fully know until we get out there and get running the shoes, but you know, I can see why there was a lot of hype on this shoe. I think it is going to be super interesting running in it. I've heard lots of amazing things about the shoe. I've heard some bad things about the shoe, which will be really interesting to see if that happens for us as well. But you know, loads of runners rave about this Zoom X. Well, we've definitely got plenty of Zoom X compound under our foot in this shoe. Obviously, you've got the Air Zoom pods as well. And I'm currently running in the Pegasus 37, which again, we're going to be reviewing. We're just getting the 50 miles in the shoe. And that shoe has really impressed me as well. It's a very lively, comfortable shoe. You get a lot of spring off of them AirPods. So, you know, this is another level. AirPods, carbon plate through that midsole, Zoom X compound. I think it's going to be pretty amazing to run in. I think it's going to take a bit of getting used to. You know, the height of that midsole. I've run in lots of Hokas, so I'm quite used to a deep midsole. But again, this is taking deep midsoles to another level. The technology in the shoe is impressive. You know, you can't fault that. This upper is like an upper I've never seen. You know, so thin, so transparent. It is like it's almost like a net rather than a mesh. You know, amazing. You know, it's going to be very breathable, that's for sure. But the weight, very impressive, you know. To get that level of compound, the Zoom AirPods, this is why they made that Atom mesh so thin and so light, to try and compensate for some of the weight coming from the AirPods and the depth of cushioning under your foot. I'm loving the colorways that Nike use for this shoe, and I'm sure we'll see it in some other colorways over the next few months maybe. But I think the green and the black really sets it off. It looks pretty special. That whole fly plate with the Zoom AirPods, you know, it's such a unique shoe. You know, these are things we've never really seen in shoes before. And the shoe is in development for years and years, and I've seen lots of prototype models on Instagram and on YouTube of the shoe. So there's definitely been some serious money spent and some serious development. Obviously working with Eliud Kipchoge, not a bad runner to have in the team working on the development of a shoe that is built to go fast over distance. It says on the side here, measured in the lab, verified by world-class runners, Nike Running. And I mean, that's true. It really has been worn by the best. Right, that's the shoe. I need to stop talking and I need to put it on. Let's see how the shoe feels on our foot first. So light. Okay, not the easiest shoe to get on. It's very fitted, obviously. Oh, wowzers. Okay, it definitely feels very different. Feels very shaped medially, lots of shape in the instep. Very narrow at that midfoot, that's for sure. But the upper, I mean, you know, sock-like, super, super held in place. Very, very narrow in fit. You know, I've got quite a narrow foot and this shoe is hugging my foot. Lengthwise, I'd say true to size, fitting pretty good on length, but over here, let's put the other one on. The first one feels so good, I need to put the other one on. Whew. Yeah, you definitely know you are putting a shoe on that is built for speed. Got these really interesting laces that have got like little, they're not that elasticated, but they've got little notches on them, so they really lock down tight around that midfoot. And yeah, okay, they feel pretty amazing, but they look very odd. I think I might get a few strange looks when I go out and run down the road in these. I feel like I'm going to be bouncing on like a kangaroo. Especially having run in the Pegasus at the moment. I mean, that Pegasus 37 with the AirPods and with the React midsole, it's a really bouncy shoe, that's for sure. It feels really quick and comfortable. So I dread to think how springy and bouncy these are going to be, but I've got to admit, the fit for my foot shape is spot on. I feel super dialed into the shoe, really locked in. Yeah, it feels great around the foot. You know, it does. In fact, I don't feel like I've got an upper around my foot. Very, very secure in the heel. Be interested to see how that upper holds up. That Atom upper is very, very stripped back, and it'll be interesting to see how it holds up wear and tear wise to running mileage. Obviously, it's a race shoe. It's not a shoe built for training. They're going to bring out a training version. Feels pretty good, that's for sure. Oh, so excited. I know it's a bit ridiculous getting excited about a running shoe, but you know, this really is a super advanced running shoe, and you know, it is a game changer. You know, Eliud Kipchoge achieved something in this shoe that had never been done before. Obviously, it's not just the shoe doing that. He is a supreme athlete and one of the best, if not the best, marathon runner ever to live. But you know, maybe the shoe helped a little bit along the way. You know, marginal gains. So it's going to be really exciting to get out in the shoe, and we'll have lots of content coming up with the shoe as well. We're going to obviously do a full review once we've got 50 miles in the shoe. I'm going to do some sort of try and break some PBs in the shoe, maybe, you know, see if that technology does help. Maybe 10k PB, 10 mile PB. Be really interesting to see if it can help me get them times down. And when we do the full in-depth review, obviously we'll go into it in a lot more detail, the compounds, the carbon plate, the upper, and give you a lot more information about the weight, heel offsets, things like that. I just need to get these shoes on my feet. So the best thing we can do, this shoe is built for speed. So we're gonna get out on the streets, on the roads, and we're gonna put the shoe through a speed session, and we'll bring you along. So we'll do a nice couple of mile warm up, and then we're gonna do some mile reps in the shoe to see again if the shoe stands up to all the hype that has been around it. Let's get these shoes laced up. I am super excited to get running in them. So that's enough of me waffling on. Let's get them laced up, let's get out the door, and let's get running fast. So we come out to a nice quiet location, and we've got a really good stretch of road along here, and it's about a mile in length. So we brought these bad boys with us. Let's get stuck into this speed session. So the plan is we're going to get the Alphaflys on. We're going to go out for a sort of mile, 2 mile warm up, which we'll take the GoPro along, and we'll sort of give you our initial reaction to running in these bad boys. But then we're going to do 3 1 mile reps. I think it'll be a really good test for the shoe, and we're going to push hard in them reps, and we'll try and build our pace throughout them 3 reps, and then we'll have a little cool off at the end. And again, we'll just give you our first initial thoughts, a bit of insight into the shoe, an insight into how different it feels to run in the Alphaflys, and obviously an insight to whether the shoe feels super quick as well. So let's put these on. Super excited to give them a run. Really looking forward to this, and I've been waiting a long time to do this. So let's get the shoes on, and then we'll get out on that warm up. It feels so different. I am so excited for this run. So we are just getting the mile warm up done, and we'll work out where our turning point is. But I have to be honest, it does feel very different. It's almost like you're having to learn to run again in shoes. I keep saying it, I know, but they are so bouncy. It does feel like you've got springs on your feet. It does feel like you're almost cheating or getting a bit of extra help. The other thing I'm noticing is that Atom mesh. I can feel the wind coming through the upper and cooling my feet as I run, which I don't think I've ever felt in a shoe before. And I've run in some lightweight shoes, that's for sure. But a very unusual feeling, very different. Right, so that's a 2 mile warm up done. And all I've got to say about this shoe, the Alphafly Next Vent, is it's ridiculous. It's like nothing I've ever run in before. You know, I run in a lot of Hoka shoes, so I'm used to a deep midsole. The midsole on this shoe is 39.5 mil deep. So it feels fine. That Zoom X foam, super soft, super bouncy. The energy return, you know, manufacturers of shoes have talked about energy return for years and I've never really believed it, but this shoe has to be returning energy. The spring from the Zoom X and the AirPods in that forefoot, crazy. You really do feel like you are running on springs. It's just so hard to describe if you're not in it and not running in it. The upper fits like a glove. Again, you can't even feel it around your foot. It is definitely built for speed. The production version has got one carbon plate. The actual shoe that Eliud broke 2 hours for the marathon in had 3 carbon plates and a deeper midsole. I mean, it must have been ridiculous to run because this is just, it's bonkers. So anyway, that's the warm up done. We're gonna have a quick stretch and then we're gonna be heading out for 3 1-mile reps. We're gonna push hard, we're gonna try and build pace over them 3 reps. We're gonna have sort of minute and a half jog recovery in between each rep. But let's get some stretching done, get everything loosened off before we start to push it. And let's see how these Alphafly next percents handle some speed. I think it's gonna be mind blowing, but let's get stuck in. Right, let's get these reps started. Right, we are off on the first 1-mile rep. Obviously, at the pace we're going to be running, I'll try and talk to the camera, but it might prove difficult. But let's see how we can do. First one, we're going to take it a little bit steadier, and then we're going to try and build on each rep and see what we can do on that last 1 mile. But let's get stuck in. Wowzers. I think I'm just going to keep saying wowzers through this whole video. That's the first rep done. We did it in 5:44. I don't know whether it's in my head or because I'm believing the hype, but that felt pretty easy. The energy return is ridiculous, just ridiculous. So we're going to have our minute 30 jog recovery, and then we're going to be heading out for rep 2. And let's see if we can go a bit quicker this time. What a shoe. Here we go then. Mile number 2. Give it a little bit more effort this time. See what we can do. You have to take it pretty steady on the turning points, quite sharp. And you're high off the ground, so you have to be careful on turns. Mile 2 completed. Obviously the shoe doesn't help your lungs out at all, unfortunately. But mile 2, we did a 5:33, so a little bit quicker. Again, feels amazing underfoot. I could definitely see how it could help, you know, over the course of a quick marathon, giving you a bit of energy return, taking a bit of stress off your muscle groups, dampening that impact. Definitely going to help with fatigue and speed endurance for sure. Anyway, let's get this recovery and then we're on to the last one, last mile. We're going to try and go a bit quicker. Okay, last rep, rep 3. Going to give it everything. See what we got. Let's get this going. Last mile, 5:18, and all I need to do is get a pair of lungs that will keep up with this shoe. Bit of lactic build up at the end there. Legs got super dead, super heavy. I did run this morning though, did about 10 miles this morning, so not surprised, but let's go back to the van and then we'll go out for a couple mile cool down, loosen them legs off. Well, I know it's only the first run and it was only 3 1-mile reps, but it's hard to explain unless you've run in it and felt it. It's hard to explain how it feels, but it feels like nothing I've ever run in. And I totally believe the hype now. You know, it's some technology, it's some shoe. Feels different, feels odd, it's going to take some getting used to, but first impressions on that first run. Oh, super good. We're going to have some fun in this shoe, that's for sure. Anyway, let's go and have a cool down, and then we'll have a bit of a debrief after cool down. But yeah, impressive shoe. Oh, it's a bit better. So, half a mile into the cool down, legs are loosened off, coming back to life now. Oh, the shoe's quick, but my fitness isn't quite there. So I really struggled in that last one, hanging on for dear life. But doing these 3 1-mile reps have definitely highlighted that this is an impressively quick shoe. I think, you know, short rep stuff is cool. I think again where it's going to excel and what it's designed for is speed over distance. You know, we're going to do some of that over the next couple of weeks. We're going to try and maybe set a 10-mile PB. That'll give us a really good gauge of how quick the shoe will be over distance. Maybe a few other challenges along the way as well. So there's a few things I noticed in the shoe. The upper, that Atom upper, is a sock, there's no tongue. It's a one-piece, very snug, nice feeling upper. But I can feel the laces through it. I don't know whether I've done them up too tight or the laces are quite coarse. I mean, they're awesome laces, but quite coarse. So slightly digging into the top of the foot again, it might just be an adjustment that's needed. Be interesting to see how that goes over the next few runs. Also, the other thing I noticed was, and I actually noticed this, I watched Galen Rupp when he ran the American Olympic marathon trials, and he was in the Alphafly Next Percent on quite a twisty, turny course, and he had to really take a wide angle around the bends. I can see why. I ran this on a half-mile out, half-mile back, and had a sharp hairpin halfway. And because you're quite high off the floor, it is quite unstable on tight bends. But putting them two things to one side, I am super happy with how the shoe ran on its first outing. It feels quick, it's going to feel really quick over distance as well, I think. And hopefully it's going to become my marathon shoe for Manchester next year. We're going to have some fun and games with the shoe over the next couple of weeks. And obviously we'll do our in-depth review once we've got some mileage into the shoe and give you a lot more information about it. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys, about our initial thoughts, having a look at the Alphafly and doing a bit of speed work in the Alphafly. If you liked it, guys, give us a big thumbs up. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Come and join the Run4Adventure family. And don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get notified about future content on the channel. We've left a link in the description if you want to find out any more information about the Nike Alphafly Next Percent. Comments, guys, you know, this is my first experience of a 4% or a Next Percent Nike shoe. Have you been running in them for years? How do you feel about this new version? Do you think it's a speed machine like I do? Get them in the comments below. Or if you've got any questions about the Alphafly, get them down below as well. Don't forget you can follow us on our other social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook or Strava. Right, back of the van, I think it's time to jump in, get home, have a bit of a stretch, a bit of a roll, maybe a nice bath I think, and then some dinner. Definitely time for some dinner. But as always, guys, thanks so much for watching, thanks for your awesome support, and as always, stay safe and keep on running. We'll see you next time.